You almost got hurt, I'm a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching VileMike and his real wild child.
Jafar, buy an SD game swap. Creed.
All right, howdy. Oh, I didn't have the camera on. Howdy, folks. This is VileMike here, and got a full panel right now. And well, I was talking a little bit before about the. I was talking a little bit before. I've been posting daily videos for the eBay store, and I thought I'd play a couple of them, not necessarily as in like conversational type topics. So this is the one I think I did yesterday. So if you guys want to talk about that one.
Story that sounds like a bizarre reboot of Jurassic Park. A new biotech startup is embarking on a controversial and ethically murky venture, bringing back the woolly mammoth. You heard that right. The woolly mammoth, thousands of years after it vanished from existence.
I don't know why it cut off so quickly.
Cool.
So
I did hear about the woolly mammoth thing.
Now,
yeah, that's kind of old news, dude. They already brought back the woolly.
Okay, hold on, Elias. The reason I chose that news piece was because the thing I'm advertising is the Far Cry Primal, where you're a caveman essentially, and you know on the cover it's the guy is facing down a woolly mammoth. But that's one of the types of videos I've been doing. So tell me if you guys like that idea where it's, you know, one thing I'm advertising and then something related to it at the bottom.
I like that. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, little transition.
I will tell you that on Instagram, shorter ones like that, under 30 seconds, are getting the most views, according to Facebook.
Okay, let me give a suggestion. When you're selling your Fallout, you might want to include the highlighted section of the member of Congress showing about the secret tunnels underneath the White House and the Congress Congress floors. Okay, do that little clip, dude, for Fallout. Hidden bunkers.
Well, I don't think I have anything for Fallout listed right now, and I'm trying to do random stuff, just because. Like I don't want to do just games every single week. I did do a bunch of Star Wars ones for the first part of May because, you know, Star Wars related.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw people do that sort of thing.
But like when I just scroll through my listings and I'm like, okay, I haven't done one on that one. What's something I can do with it? And if it's a movie I'm selling, I'm trying to include a clip of that movie. For instance.
Right.
Hey, Mike, real quick.
Go ahead.
Taps and friends.
Nice.
Yeah. He's that's one of the reasons I don't want to change my theme song just yet to some of the newer material because Bird is still there. He's he's got the honored position, and his sister and his mom did post some new pictures with Charlie this weekend.
Yeah,
and LDG is running a Bird classic streams on YouTube.
Yes, I saw that too.
In there, if you do a new theme, you could still have him there. Like you don't have to not have his image.
Yeah, Anto has JJ on there and has Rest in Peace, Sith Lord.
All those images though I don't have access to anymore. They were on the old computers.
Oh, gotcha.
So the only like all those screenshots that I had, like Kirk with the Sonic hair on it, or the Batmobile that is changed to the Google Mobile, all those originals I don't have anymore. They only exist on the theme songs uploaded to YouTube and to StreamYards.
Gotcha.
Then pause and take a screenshot of it.
The only problem with that is then the screenshot is even worse than the original.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, you would definitely lose some issues that way.
But But if I can download a high resolution version of my own videos, which I can't right at this moment because YouTube won't let me, they only let you download, I think, 480p unless you're paying their service.
Dude, there's a way. Hang on a second, Dylan. Mike, I will send you a link after this stream, so you don't have to worry about that little messery. Okay.
All right.
Okay, question for you guys. Has anybody kept up with Last of Us?
No.
I haven't watched.
I should do that right now, Mike.
I did, and I had to. I watched the first episode with Ellie and whatever that other girl's name is, and then there was the next episode, and I didn't even finish it. I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I pull up Last of Us season 1, and I go to episode 3. I'm like, I need a decent story. So I'm like, I'm watching this. And I'm like, wait a minute. How do we go from a great story like Bill and Frank to this girl hooking up with literally Potato Head?
They are sent, and they are sent by Mike.
Yeah, I just got the notification.
Okay.
Also, here's the thing. For someone who is supposed to be out for revenge, she doesn't seem like she's really acting like
shit.
Out for revenge. They're literally acting like they're on some little adventure or something. They're smiling way too much. I'm like, wait a minute.
Shit, we got Beetlejuice effect. Sorry, we got Beetlejuice effect. Look who's in the fucking chats. Beetlejuice
Yeah, I know.
effect.
I saw.
Sorry, MD.
I saw.
But I only said people's name one time.
I said it twice. So
come up. I guess he won't come up unless I go pickles, pickles, pickles. Then he'll join.
You said LDG once. I said it twice. Like, yep. Beetlejuice effect. Sorry, MD. Go ahead. Continue, man. I had to say that.
Yeah, so, I mean, literally, they act like they're on some adventure. It's like, wait a minute. You're supposed to be going kill the people who killed Joel. You were hell-bent on this. Now you're acting like you're on some weekend vacation. Like you suddenly forgot there were whatever they want to call those mutated people still out there. It really, there is no way these. So I guess it got renewed for a third season, but I'm telling you right now, the ratings have already tanked. These two cannot hold the show together because they have nothing to work off of. First off, they have no chemistry whatsoever.
Well, I haven't seen it. As I said, right now I'm watching The Good Doctor. I said I wanted to watch Once Upon a Time, but I haven't got around to that yet. I'm still only watched episode 1 of Andor, but I did find out some cool news. Mrs. Vile wants to watch Andor, so I might go back and watch it with her. Plus, she has Disney Plus down in Mexico, so.
I say justice for Cyril.
Sure, I can say that.
For who?
Cyril, the cereal
he's
guy.
in season 2. He's in season 2.
Well, he's in cereal. Okay, he's in season 1 as well. He's the guy with the cereal, the Fruitios.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's more active in season 2. Season 1, he's one of the guy in charge.
What show is that? You're talking about Andor?
Andor.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because the only name that I could think of that was close to that was the freaking little girl's name in one of the Ewok movies, and I'm like,
no.
Cyril was one of the characters in Andor. You would have met him. He was the Ponzi
commander,
security guard at the beginning who wants to investigate the guys that Andor killed.
Okay,
that's Cyril.
He becomes more active in season 2.
He's not Ponzi now. I mean, he loses his Ponziness sort of a bit. No, his character arc actually turned out pretty much exactly the way I thought it would.
I read up
on. He realized he was actually fighting for the bad guys right as he got killed, which is exactly what happened.
Well, the whole thing was he wasn't in it for. I mean, he liked the promotion stuff, but his whole thing was he believed in this.
Yeah, he thought he was doing the right thing.
Exactly.
And then he realized that he found out
it.
he was actually hurting the people he had, grown to like. But then when he saw Andor there, he assumed that was the outside militants who had caused all the problem, even though in fact Andor was the only outside militant who was like, fuck, I want nothing to do with this place.
The guy basically suffered from Stockholm syndrome as a free man.
Yeah.
He was duped.
But it was a good story arc for him. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a tragic story arc. I actually read what...
I wish he could have done something really noble before he died, but that
that would have ruined it.
No, hold on.
Figure.
I haven't seen it, so I don't have much to say. I would say that in context of previous Star Wars stuff, it would have made more sense, according to George Lucas, for him to have done something noble at the end.
Mm-hmm.
But for the context of this particular show, where everything is supposed to end on a downer because of Rogue One, it makes sense within the context of the show. Again, I haven't seen beyond episode 1 of season 2.
Yeah,
and even then, it took me 2 days to fucking watch it because I still fell asleep during the first episode.
Well, if you look at Star Wars, you'll have those who in the Empire
and of course we've got the obligatory weekly loaf display.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
Isn't that nice?
Hold on. No.
Oh.
Oh, that looks like it would make a really good bread bowl.
Yeah,
I learned something about Russian culture the other day. I was looking at this video of things that people don't know about Russians.
What? The Family Guy lied. They're not all bears.
Okay, can we stop at the jokes and let me actually finish?
Finish.
No, they have bread with every meal. In fact, bread is so vital to them that when things were bad in their country, bread was everything. She actually said it is considered insulting if you throw your crumbs in the trash. So you either eat the crumbs or you feed them to the birds, but it's considered a massive insult if you waste bread.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that was buried into their culture, and it's just something that's stuck with it.
Ooh, and they make that good chewy rye bread too, don't they?
I saw a TikTok recently that was about vending machines in Soviet Russia. And apparently, because of limitations on packaging and stuff like that, what the vending machines did was it had a single communal cup, and you would fill it up with whatever beverage was offered. Usually it was like 1 or 2 beverages, and it would fill it up. You'd share it with your friends right there by the vending machine. You'd put it upside down, push down on a little thing that would squirt water into it to rinse it out, and then you'd set it up for the next person.
I watched the story. I watched a story once from.
Hold on. I'm going to interrupt because a lot of you said yuck. You have to also understand this was, Soviet Russia, and it made the vending machines incredibly cheap.
Yeah, but non-sanitized cup, yuck.
Well, they at least rinsed it out, but
yeah, but still,
it made sense for the culture, and it made sense to keep things cheap for them.
So one of the stories I heard, I watched an interview with a guy who got out of Soviet Russia with his family, and after they got off the boat, they got over there. They're on the land, and he's like, he sees a Coke machine. He doesn't even know what a Coke machine is. He doesn't even know how it works. So he's just kind of looking at it, kind of staring at it. His kids are kind of like, what is that? And an American comes over and figures out they're Russian, and he's like, he kind of figures out they don't know how to use it. So he shows them, he pops a couple quarters in and hits the button and he hands it to him and he feels this ice. He's like, this ice cold can. And he's like, I opened it up and I took just a small sip. And he's like, I had never tasted anything like this. He's like, he was so used to sharing stuff that like he didn't even think about asking for another one for his kids. He just was passing it around to his kids.
Just probably a better way to drink pop. People drink way too much of that stuff.
But no, I just want to make sure you guys saw. Definitely doing a CNA stream today.
Not me. I'm on water. Well, I'm gonna
Oh
have
man, I've seen nothing but a bunch of. Man, this week most everything I've seen has been honestly B movies. I mean, it's the same shit. It's the same tropes over and over. There was one I was trying to watch, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing this one. I'm not doing this trope again. Former CIA agent has to go with a junior CIA analyst to go stop some freaking thing, and I'm just like, oh my lord. Like, no, I'm not in the mood for
retirement.
What's that?
I didn't even hear you.
Yeah, I didn't understand what you were saying in Dandelion.
Oh, I said, was the senior agent only a week away from retirement?
No, this was one of those retired ones they pulled back. You know how that goes. And I was like, oh, I'm not doing this trope right now. I'm like, I'm not in the mood for that trope. I'm like, let me find some other B movie that has a trope I'm in the mood for.
All right, hold on. I did watch something last night just because I was kind of tired of The Good Doctor, and I was already on Hulu. There is a movie called Carve or something like that. And it's about it's a Halloween themed movie where basically a giant mutated pumpkin goes around killing people.
Thought they already did that.
Well, this is like an actual pumpkin.
Yeah, Simpsons did it. A Halloween special.
But I don't remember that one. So
they were mocking the Peanuts. Linus had a great pumpkin. The pumpkin got mad because they're eating the young with pumpkin seeds. The Simpsons did it already. Halloween special.
Well, it was still funny. I enjoyed it. The effects were at times pretty bad. It's got some cringy CG, but some of the deaths were very inventive. I did like what they ended on because it was kind of funny. Basically, the pumpkin is offended by people carving, its brethren in, scooping out their guts and carving faces into them. So the final shot is literally somebody's head cut off with their eyes and mouth carved up further by the pumpkin. So I thought, I thought it was fun. I liked it. It was very interesting. But to me, I now want to do a playlist of vegan horror. Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, Attack
what the
Space Carrots.
The problem where Attack of the Killer Tomatoes really is really boring.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. All I
well, she's in the chat, but she's probably not going to stay. But how you doing, babe?
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Hey, Elihu. Oh, what a pity. Tomatoes.
Oh, baby.
You remember that cartoon?
Yes.
All right, but Attack of the Killer Tomatoes is always going to have a soft spot in my heart because it was filmed here in San Diego. But hold on.
Once Upon a Time was filmed here because a lot of the lake shots are at Alouette Lake where I go hiking.
And here, since we're about 20 minutes in, I'm going to do another one of these little shorts because no one has bought it yet, and I want to see if someone will buy it.
Look, folks, this is the last item of a consignment lot, and I just want to get rid of it. So if you buy it, I'm going to give you a free copy of the Doctor Who Wolves of Winter hardcover comic book. And as you can see, it is well worth it. So first person, whoever buys the psychology books, gets the Doctor Who comic. Later, folkses.
So what's been going on with Doctor Who lately?
Ooh, $2, nice.
Hold on. Yeah. So literally, I've had those damn psychology textbooks. One of my neighbors asked me to sell some stuff for her on eBay. This was, I am not kidding, over 7 years ago. And those books are the last things from that set of stuff she wanted me to sell. They've been on the store for over half a decade. They've been on the store. They're the thing that's been on the store for the longest amount.
Have you read them? Are they any good?
No, they're from like the 1970s psychology. They are so out of date. It's not even funny.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Maybe just delist them and hand them back to her. She can just take them to a used bookstore.
I already gave her the money for them because, when I told her that I'm only going to put them for $2, she was like, okay. So I just gave her $1 for them.
Right. Why don't you take them to a used bookstore and just get rid of them?
Because the tax credit for an item that I only essentially paid $1 for isn't going to be worth it for me.
All right.
So
I'm just thinking you're never going to sell them. Like
that's why I'm like, I'll bundle them up with a book I'm selling for $12, which I've already sold 2 copies of that for $12. See if somebody will buy the books for $2, and then I can take it
other way around. Do it the other way around. Just stick them in with the shipment.
A surprise, yeah, surprise gift, man.
Off on your
okay, tax. That is because those psychology books, the weight of them makes the shipping a little bit more, but the weight of the Doctor Who book is virtually nothing.
Maybe you should just have them in a campfire.
I might do that eventually, but I was like, but here's the issue. Okay. Caddy has told me that when I'm doing the voiceovers on those shorts, she doesn't like it because she says no matter what I do, whether I'm talking off a script or I'm talking spontaneously, I sound like I'm talking off a script.
That's just sort of the cadence of your voice, though. Like you always sort of sound that way, just it's the cadence of the way you speak.
Mike, you write your donations off on your taxes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
I never do.
For the store? Absolutely. Because every dime, okay, I have to keep.
He is poor. Okay, you got to remember that. He is poor.
Okay. Remember, to keep my business the way I'm running it currently, I don't net any money from my eBay store.
Mm-hmm.
So my net profits for the store is 0 every single year. My gross income is around $10,000.
You only make $10,000 a year
for the eBay store. Yeah, about $10,000. Why?
Yes, and in California, if you make under 100,000 and under, you're low income.
But no, that's because NB, the store pays for the insurance on my car, half of my storage bill, about 1 tank of gas a month, my phone bill, and a few other things. So basically, divide $10,000 by 12. That's how much I make a month. And each of those things cost me about $100 a month.
So wait a minute. Elihu, how much did you say you had to make annually to live
He was
there?
making a joke.
Okay, what does it take? What do you need? What do you need to live in California now? Because I've been gone a lot.
You need to make in San Francisco Bay Area. You need to make about $36 an hour to afford a studio apartment by yourself.
Okay, that's San Francisco. That's not all of California.
Yeah, I'm just saying this specific Bay Area. Okay, this is how the market is around here. The rest of California is a little bit lenient, which you need to make about $22 to $23 an hour to afford a studio to one-bedroom apartment.
It also
by
doesn't
yourself.
help that per capita. Did you know that San Francisco has more millionaires than anywhere else in the country?
Yeah, Viscount Valley is second.
Out of the quote unquote 1% group, 1 out of every 48 1%ers lives in San Francisco.
What's a one? Okay, so what do you need to be the 1%? Forgot what that number is.
Money.
Well, yeah, I know that.
Sorry, I must be in a bad signal spot because you're roboting on me.
You are in a bad spot.
Just you.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yay! We can say whatever we want. He's gone.
No more shiny, except for he's Ed.
Ah, dang it! I'm so sick of trying to search for anything now.
What happened? Why is there like?
Because everything's stuck in advertising.
Oh,
yeah. It depends. Basically, the search engines suck because if you go to Yahoo, advertisers pay for Yahoo for them to be the first search. Same as Google. Same as DuckDuckGo. They make money by advertising. The more you pay, the more your search, the more your link is going to come up on the very first searches.
I always scroll past the advertised ones, even if it's the one I'm looking for, and go for the non-advertised link.
Yeah, do not, because they make money when you click on the one that says advertisements.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to keep on scrolling down to the middle of the bottom of the page whenever you search for anything.
All right.
No matter what.
Sorry, I had to back out because my signal strength dropped immensely all of a sudden. So everyone was roboting, so I dropped out.
Right.
What are you talking about now? All of a sudden?
I don't remember.
We were talking about you were talking about the 1%, and I was trying to find out what they actually mean by what's their number for. All right, top 5 is 1.17 to 2.7.
Well, in order to be part of the quote unquote 1% earners in the United States, I think you have to make around $650,000 a year minimum.
It's $650,000, $700,000 before taxes. It varies by state, like Connecticut and New York.
Okay, but for the people who make over $1 million per year, 1 out of every 48 of those people in the United States lives in San Francisco. That's what the point I was making. So the income demographics of San Francisco are wildly off when it comes to everywhere else, even in California.
So I saw an interesting thing here on the news. This guy was selling his house, and then a few hours later, he immediately took it off the market because the Pope had just been elected, and he lives in Chicago, and he lives in the Pope's childhood home.
Oh yeah, good move. Good move to take out the market. Very good move.
Probably.
Yeah, smart ass move, dude.
Yeah, you know why? And he flat out said why he did it. He's like, I'm gonna make a lot more money.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yo, you make at least $1 million, $2 million, $3 million off of that, man. Post childhood home, yes.
Well, think about it. Chicago will probably at some point declare it
a national monument, historical monument. National Historic Registry.
A point of interest, like a historical. They'll put up
landmark.
Landmark, Lincoln's log cabin and things like that. Or,
George Washington slept here. Yeah, those sort of things. Yeah,
those kind of things. Points of interest. Yeah, that would definitely be something they would mark as a point of interest at some
Obama's house. Oh hell yeah! His childhood home. Yeah, I think it was. How much did his childhood home could sell for? God. Hey, let me find out how much.
Did he have a childhood home?
He was born in Hawaii and he grew up in Chicago.
He didn't spring fully formed as an adult, so he must have lived.
No, I meant I don't know. Okay, I never had a childhood home. Okay. I never had a childhood home. Okay. I didn't grow up in one house.
No, but even if you lived in several, it would count. Because I didn't have a childhood home either. We had like a whole bunch. We moved a lot.
I lived in over 30 different places.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, that's, I guess, where they grew up. That's where it's going to be. Yeah, smart guy doing the, being like, oh, yeah, I'm going to bank on this.
Genius move.
Yeah, definitely. Would have been an idiot not to take it off because somebody would have put it on. Somebody would have been like, I'm taking it. And then he would have been screwed.
Speaking of, seeing things on the market, I've been trying to buy a house for years now, right?
Mm-hmm.
As of right now, my bank will only give me a home loan of $300,000, which in Southern California is not much to buy anything.
No. You can buy a house for $300,000 in Ohio.
Yes, but I need it in Southern California because that's where my kids are.
Yeah,
but here's what pisses me off. There was a house in downtown San Diego that had water damage. Like they left the faucets running for a long time, and every wall in the house had water damage at the bottom, right? It was selling for within my price range, and I had bookmarked it. I had contacted the people just for shits and giggles, kind of. But somebody else offered them above market rate for the house. So, of course, they sold it to them.
Of course.
All those people did was slap a coat of paint over the water damage. Like, you could literally still see the water damage through the new paint. And now we're selling the house for over $1 million.
That's insane.
Flippers.
And
I can't even legally buy a house.
Why not?
Why not?
Because I'm only allowed to have $2,000 in my bank account, and if I get more than that, I get cut off from SSI.
Speaking of which, I gotta go to the SSI department sometime next week because
Heed my advice about the lawyer.
Heed
my advice, dude.
Let me at least start getting the ball rolling first. I need to get some information. And unfortunately, I do have one small problem. I swear to God, if I go in there and they go, well, you can do this online. I'm like, lady, if I could do this online, I wouldn't be in here. I keep trying to get my password reset and it won't let me.
That's why I said you need to talk to an attorney first before you do anything.
Well, I've got a lot of things going on. I don't even know when I'm getting to that.
That's the very first thing you need to do is get the attorney.
And
then they would do all that work for you. They would do all that work for you.
I do have a question for you, Elihu. Because I'm checking all the auctions, the state auctions for repossessed properties. Can you explain to me why vacant land in San Francisco is going for so cheap, but anything with a house on it is worth so fucking much money? Even if it's just a prefab building they threw on there just to do anything?
Well, it's several factors. It's already developed land, number one. Number two,
yeah,
to get paper.
All they're doing is throwing but all they're literally doing is throwing a prefab shed on there, and it increases the property value like 200%.
Yeah, because that's called developed land. People, if you buy property without anything on it, you have to jump through red tape after red tape after red tape to get a permit to build something on that land itself. It can take years to build a house or anything on the property you buy. If there's a shed there, if you buy
electric, sewer, that sort of stuff.
If you buy a property with a shed on it, that's your thing. You can build a house easily done without all that red tape.
But hold on,
it's a lot easier to buy property with a shed on it than an empty
what I'm talking.
Hold
on, Eli. What I'm talking about is they still don't. The shed does not have water, power, or anything else attached to it.
It's called developed land. It's paper. It's a loophole in the paperwork here. Developed land. It's property on it. It's developed.
It's pissing me off because there was actually a piece of land out there that was going for like $200,000 or $20,000 out in San Francisco, and literally it was pulled from the market because somebody put a bid on it that was well above, and the next thing I see was the freaking they literally like went to Home Depot, bought one of the prefabricated, and now it's going for like $200 million.
That's insane.
And I'm pulling that number out of my ass. I was just,
that would actually go for about 1.5, 2 mil.
Yeah, but again, originally the land that was being auctioned from the city government of San Francisco, the land was only going for $20,000.
Yeah, if it's the city county itself is actually auctioning the land itself, then yeah, they can avoid the paperwork. But if it's private property selling to another private individual, it will take years to build even a shed on that property. But if it's already city and county, it's the logistics of the thing. It's called already developed property.
Oh, hey, Mike, can you share my screen? I wanted to show Dandelion what we've been doing with the chickens. All right,
I saw that video. That was pretty cool.
Let's see if I'll just turn the audio on since this is my fucking video anyway.
Voice, your chicken voices. Yeah.
Oh, duh.
It'll help if you hit play.
So the chicken coop and run, all the hard stuff is now done. As you can see, we expanded the run all the way around. It's quite a few hundred extra square feet.
How many chickens do you have?
Right now we have 5 in there and 12 on the way to go in there in the next few weeks.
So you see we got the whole runway now.
Don't count your chickens before they hatch.
We had a disaster this week.
As you can see right there, that's ventilation that was put in today. Give them some extra circulation over there and over there. And like I said, our biggest thing was just took this, turned it out, put the other panels on, and just line them up.
How deep does that go?
Sturdy.
What's that?
Well, all the hard part about getting the chicken stuff on, that's all done. Everything else is now easy peasy. Right.
I would keep an eye on that though, because chickens are good diggers. Mm-hmm. They're like amazing at digging. They'll be underneath that fence in no time.
Well, yeah, you want to put some chicken wire. You want to put about some chicken wire underneath the.
Well, or you can put like some chunks of wood, like around the inside, like.
Yeah, those are gonna be. Yeah, we've got plenty of. We got plenty of wood.
Just keep an eye on it. I mean, your chickens might not be diggers, but I found my chickens that are here will dig underneath the fence in like no time flat.
These ones, they're funny. They'll go out, they'll eat, they'll peck, and then they go back in.
We had a horrible chicken disaster this week, actually. My landlord got a whole bunch of little chicks, and what we've been doing was keeping them in a separate section in like the old horse shed. Mm-hmm. And so he gives me a text the other day. He's like, do you know where all the baby chicks are? I'm like, aren't they in the chicken shed? And he's like, nope, there's like only 12 left. And I'm like, well, did they get out? Because I did see that they'd like kind of been able to jump through these little holes. Because we had the dog pen. So the dog pen was there, but they were small. They could fit through the bars on that. And then there's a piece of cardboard, but it had some like holes in it. I guess it was for vegetables, and there was like, air holes for vegetables, and they could fit through those. So I'm like, well, maybe they got into the main area and then got out through a small hole, and then crows got them or something, or they're wandering around somewhere on the property. And anyway, I did find like a little piece of one in the goat's water bucket. So, which made me think that, some sort of bird had got it and dropped a piece. But anyway, so I was like, well, we fixed it up so they couldn't get out anymore. And then the next morning when I went out, there was one left. And so obviously something was getting in. We think it was a possum. And I texted Manny, my landlord, right away, and he's like, I'll come over. I'm gonna grab that one because he hatched some at home from like the chickens we have. He took some of the eggs home and hatched them, and he was gonna take that last little baby and put it in with the ones he's got at his place. And by the time he got in, like an hour later, the last one was gone. So we figure a possum just got in and ate them all.
If a possum manages to get through the first barrier of defense,
there wasn't. It's not that secure. Like the shed is open to the back, and the back is just open for the goats. It wasn't a very secure area. It was secure enough for the chicken. The little chickens couldn't get out, but there was nothing stopping like a possum or a raccoon from getting in. The only thing that wouldn't be able to get in would be like an eagle couldn't get in, because that's our biggest concern usually here is eagles. But anyway, so sadly we lost 46 little baby chicks all this week.
Yeah, we have like I said, we're gonna have 17. If they do dig out, the only thing they're going to run into is a bigger field with another fence.
Yeah, which is fine. That's all they'll want, is just to get out into the bigger field.
Well, that's why we expanded. That's why we expanded the run.
Yeah,
and yeah, we're going to put some
for your dogs
in.
Getting at them, because dogs will, if they get out, then that's the only thing, is they're more likely to get eaten by, like, you know.
My dogs won't eat them. My dogs are too protective of them.
Oh, well, that's all right. That's good.
No, my dogs are literally like, they come out, we get outside and they are like, Jade's barking, going over there. My Bernese Mountain Dog's over there, and then my Australian Shepherd. Oh, trust me, she monitors that perimeter. She's like, oh, I got a job to do now.
Well, she'll probably keep the chickens in, then they won't dig out.
Oh, yeah, she will literally lay out she'll just lay out there, and trust me, when they're out there at night, if I'll tell you what, they'll bark at sometime in the morning, and we'll let them out. And I don't know what they smell, but they smell something.
There you go. Okay, Mike wants to do another ad. Let's let it.
Someone standing in front of you with this, and all you can think up is big nose. I suppose you could think of something better. Yeah, I think I could think up something better. Start with obvious. Excuse me, is that your nose, or did a bus park on your face? Meteorological. Everybody take cover. She's going to blow. Fashionable. You know, you could de-emphasize your nose if you wore something larger, like Wyoming. Pardon me, sir. Some of the ladies have asked if you wouldn't mind putting that thing away. Humorous. Laugh and the world laughs with you. Sneeze and it's goodbye, Seattle.
You have a copy of All of Me? Because I always liked that one.
I don't have it right now. A lot of my VHS tapes were actually given to me by the Poway Library.
Yeah, actually, to be honest,
say that again for the millennials. Say that again for the millennials. What a VHS is.
I don't have a VHS player anymore.
They can Google it.
But I literally only did that one because I love that clip from that. But now to talk about something real quick, we're a lot of people that I've seen online on TikTok this week were complaining about Hollywood not having any ideas, and I kind of thought about that when I made that short, because it isn't a new idea. It's literally Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah.
And no, it's not Betamax, CCTV. Although I have sold Betamax in the past. But it's just put in a modern context.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder,
those are like that.
Yeah, 10 Things I Hate About You is Taming of the Shrew. Hell, even when we're talking about like The Good Doctor, it's based on a South Korean program. Yeah. They say it at the beginning of every episode, on the little on screen. So is Hollywood really out of good ideas for new media? Because everything seems to be based on previous stuff.
There is one movie I love. It's not an action or thriller movie, but I don't believe it's based on a pre-existing idea. It's a brand new idea. It's called Next Stop Wonderland. It's basically a romance comedy. The typical thing is two people meet, they have an adventure, they split up, fall in love. No, they don't meet till the very, 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 very end of the movie. That's when they finally meet. I mean, I love this concept of this movie. I'm like, this is a different trope. I love this. It's called Next Stop Wonderland.
Well,
Hope
let's see,
Davis, Alan Jafont.
a lot of it is basically because we have like a certain narrative logic that we all follow. So stories generally follow that like narrative sequence. So it always seems kind of uncreative unless you completely don't follow that create that narrative.
Well, I know that like
Next Stop Wonderland. They don't get together until the end of the movie. I'm like, wow, I love this concept. It's not a typical romance comedy movie.
Now, here's a movie I did like. It's a remake, but seriously, it's based off the silent movie, Nosferatu. Yeah.
But even that is just a remake of an older movie. Even Andor is just a continuation of a story that we've already seen told.
I understand that. What I'm saying is,
I know, but what
I'm looking at it from this perspective. Nosferatu has not been redone. I think it was done one other time since I think it was done in the 70s. I think there was one in the 70s. But I love the way. But I do love the way that they had a good cast of characters. The storyline was good. The tension was palpable, and I loved how they would use the idea of the shadow tricks from the original Nosferatu, where you just see this eerie, shadowy figure, and I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I like this. So yeah, they took an old story, they gave it an update, and did a very good job on it, I think. So you can retell a story and tell it good. It's just a question of, can you tell it good or not? Obviously, Snow White did not tell a good story.
Well, hold on one second.
The drunken
does
philosopher.
CCTV say something so I know it's actually you? Because I didn't check in the private chat.
Yeah, it is me.
The drunken philosopher.
Hello, everybody.
Yay! Hello, drunken philosopher. How are you?
I'm actually gonna tap out at this point. I gotta go do a bunch of stuff today and stuff. And it's been like 20 minutes past my usual staying. So
no worries.
Okay.
Take care.
Have a great week, everyone. I'll talk to you all later.
I'll talk to you later.
It was nice seeing you. Bye.
Hey, Mike, I got about 10 or 15 minutes left, and then I got to go get my wife her Mother's Day gift.
No worries, boss.
There really
yeah,
are
I was
only
just
a
like,
handful of basic, you got, maybe 100 basic stories, or maybe even less than that. They're basic stories where you have lead character, side characters, antagonist, etc. So whatever story you create for that is the story that you get. What I think we're having problems with now is that modern writers are like, oh, I'm so tired of this. Well, guess what? Tired of this is not what the people want. So you get people like Ryan Johnson going, oh, well, here you go. I've got a different take on it. And then, instead of therefore writing. You know what I mean?
well, are you talking about like Star Wars specifically, or are you just talking about in general?
No, all modern.
It's kind of like what Guy
media,
Ritchie's been doing.
Honestly.
It's kind of like Guy Ritchie's doing, right? He's directing the same things over and over again, the same tropes.
I see a lot of new movies that come out, and instead of having a logical ending, they just go, "Well, this happened, and then this happened, and we won." And that's
Mrs. Vile is pointing out, if you haven't heard about this, when she described this to me, I was like, "This sounds like really fun. I want to watch it." It's called the Eternaut or Ethernaut or something like that. But it's a Spanish movie. She could tell you more about it in the chat. But basically, it's like an alien invasion movie. But the aliens attack basically using like poisoned snow, essentially.
The last show made in Mexico that I watched was Who Killed Sarah.
I'm not familiar with that one. Maybe Mrs. Vile is, but the concept, the alien invasion movie is, of course, just a straight up invasion movie, or invasion story, which is as old as friggin' time immemorial.
War of the Worlds.
But, well, I'm just talking about invasion movies straight up. I mean, the
In
Iliad
general,
is an invasion story.
Yeah.
So the concept of an invasion is not new, but the way the method and the way that people are handling it, because basically you're stuck inside. If you go outside, you die. And it sounds.
I am kind of bored with alien invasion movies. Like, they come here to destroy Earth for no reason at all. You should think that they did it poorly, but they did it in the Independence Day one, where they said they're miners and they mine. Well, here's the problem. There's so many other planets that you can mine. It'll still destroy the. Well, anyway, what I'm saying
Well,
is,
hold on.
they're like here to
Okay,
destroy.
I'm going to justify a really bad movie for a second. When they did Independence Day Resurgence, what they were harvesting was the Earth's molten core. Now,
Right.
it does make a little bit of sense why they would do it on Earth versus any other planet in the solar system, because Mars's molten core is mostly solidified at this point.
Well, yeah,
to the
but
point
they
where
can take
it's
Mercury almost completely.
And Mercury, the only reason it's got a molten core is because of tidal friction. Venus would be harder to get to because of its thick atmosphere. Remember, its atmosphere is, 100 times thicker than Earth's. Or sorry. Let me rephrase, Elihu, because I know you're probably going to correct me. 100 times more dense than ours, not thicker.
It's also corrosive as all hell.
89%. 89%.
Boy, I just love walking through chlorine gas, don't you?
I always find it funny when
I gotta say something.
I always find it interesting. People are like, "So what's the hottest planet in our solar system?" Everybody goes, "Well, Mercury."
No, it's Venus.
Venus is not.
Mercury's only hot on one side.
Isn't Venus known as the hell planet?
Yeah, it is. I always thought the TV show movie V was kind of stupid because they came to Earth for water. I'm like, wait a minute, Ganymede, Enceladus has 30 times more water than Earth. What the fuck?
Anytime they're coming for water, I always get mad because water is much more plentiful in other planets, or even just asteroids. There's no need for it. Okay, and Mrs. Vile's correcting me. It's an Argentinian film, not Mexican, but it is Spanish. And I do want to watch it with her because it sounds really cool.
The reason you would want to conquer a planet is to expand your territory, or for natural resources, or for slaves, not to destroy the planet. That's ridiculous. There's so much resources in every solar system that you don't even have to approach in a populated planet. Especially one like ours, where we wouldn't even know that you were mining our asteroids until, I don't know, 10 years from now or something.
I'm going to tell you a short story that I actually wrote back in college because, in college I did a creative writing class because I had to take some sort of English credit for it. And basically, the short story was about aliens who are coming to the United States, or not, sorry, the United States, the planet, to the Earth, our solar system. But they're not going to colonize Earth. They're going after Venus because it's the one that's most habitable towards their form of life.
Okay,
but Earth still declares war on them.
Why?
Because
Why
they're
the
like,
hell would Earth
no,
declare war on them?
you can't go to a planet in our solar system
that we can't even get to the surface of.
Yeah, but that was the whole. Again, I wrote this 20 some odd years ago, and now I'm thinking maybe I can expand it into something else. Because the whole idea was these aliens were steampunk essentially. Because back in the mid-aughts, steampunk was real popular. So basically, it was like steampunk technology versus technology of the late 90s. And I just thought it was kind of funny because, like, when they do attack Earth, they're attacking essentially in Zeppelins, but giant armored Zeppelins.
Really? That's
Yeah.
fascinating.
Mr. CGDV, you said if the aliens were mining asteroids, we would know about 10 years. Actually, it would be more logical to mine the Kuiper Belt because if they go to the asteroid field, it's only about a couple 100,000 and they're miles and millions of miles apart from each other. The Kuiper Belt, they're within inches to miles apart, so it's a lot easier to mine in the Kuiper Belt than the asteroid field.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
we wouldn't know that for about
saying
maybe
that,
30 to 80
You
years.
knew what I was
with observation.
saying. I'm talking. I just said I knew, and as soon as I said it, I was like, asteroid belt. No, Kuiper belt would be better. But I didn't say that because, well, a lot of people don't realize the Kuiper belt is farther out and more dispersed than the asteroid. They just think flying rocks in space.
Kuiper belt's about 9,000 AUs out.
Hey, Mike, you know what's driving me nuts with some of these movies nowadays?
the steering wheel attached to your balls.
Sorry, 1,400.
Anyway, they're CGI-ing the dog
You don't want an answer.
It's like they're CGI-ing dogs now instead of just getting a real dog for the show.
What are you talking about?
I've been seeing some movies where, like, the animals you can clearly tell are the dogs, the cats, they're all CGI'd. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
I saw a review of a show that's coming out where the dog is literally CGI.
All right, what specifically? Because I can't think of anything offhand where the animal would be CGI the entire time.
I saw it yesterday.
I can't think of a specific couple of movies. They weren't that good.
Lion King.
Well, Lion King doesn't count.
You can't count Lion King because all of them look terrible.
Oh God, Lion King. My wife and I, 15 minutes.
No, hold on. Lion King, I will admit this, had some great CGI. What it lacked was heart.
Depth, yeah. It is actually a frame for frame for the cartoon, but I'm like, do something a little bit different.
It's amazing how much cartoon characters' facial expressions make a difference, and CGI hasn't caught up to that yet.
Now, like I said, the only live action one I've liked is Aladdin. That was the only one I liked.
Will Smith, yeah, that was pretty good. The genie's perspective, I love that twist.
Well, to be honest with
sorry,
you,
Ben, what do you mean by Monroe-ish? Can you expand on that? Because I don't know what you mean. But what else was I going to say? Fuck, I can't even remember what I was going to say now.
I don't know, but it's time for me to make some more coffee. You need to take a commercial break, dude. I'm making more coffee.
Instead of a short.
Head out.
All right, go ahead and head out. I'm gonna take a break from our sponsors. Our sponsor.
Avoid super battle droids, but not the super dealers at SD GameSwap.
We will send an emissary. We will offer our queen.
There's no way in hell I'm letting them on board this ship.
Broadcast fleet-wide. Shields up.
Aye, Captain.
Sir, we have an incoming transport signal. Signal scans indicate a single life form. Organic synthetic components consistent with the Borg. Captain, do we fire?
Not yet. They can't transport through our shields.
Queen is actually coming. Rios, don't wait until it's too late. Fire.
Open a channel.
Channel open, Captain.
Borg vessel, cease transport attempt or you will be fired upon.
I don't know why StreamYard keeps cutting off the last couple of seconds. Yeah, well, babe, a lot of my writing assignments were all fan fiction-y back in the day. Because one of them was I did a Zelda fanfic essay or writing assignment. I did a another one, which is another one I want to go on. I really like to expand upon, maybe actually like write something, but I don't have the time.
Hey, you never know. Your fan fiction may turn into a motion picture movie. Simon Pegg did it. Star Trek Into
It's
Darkness.
true.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote it as a fan fiction movie. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, but I'm more worried about it turning into 50 Shades of Grey. Because that started out as Twilight fan fiction.
At least it's not 50 Shades of Orange.
We're not going to go into politics. That's for the other stream. So, but yeah, like that particular short, I just did a clip from Picard because, you know, that primarily featured Captain, I think his name is Ramos, isn't it? Rios? What's his name? No, Rios was the other guy. What's the guy that was the captain of the Stargazer 2?
Yeah.
Or the Titan 2? Was it Ramos?
For God's sake, you're trying to get me into Star Trek lore I haven't seen in years.
Well, because he's on the cover of the book. That's why I did that clip.
What's the name of the ship? What's the name of the ship again?
Titan 2 or Titan A.
I thought that was Riker.
Okay, that was Shaw. Shaw was the captain of Titan A.
Shaw, sorry, I screwed that up immensely.
Dude, that was Stashwick. I'm like, that was Shaw.
But he's on the cover of the book. That's why I did that clip.
Okay.
So,
if you had Titan, I'm like, that's Riker. Titan A, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, Titan A. Because Titan was Titan was Riker.
The future of the future. How do you
say that again?
Timey-wimey. I was gonna say Titan is Riker, Titan A is Shaw. So that's the future of the future.
It's all wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, because Strange New Worlds is supposed to be changing the Star Trek history.
But anyway, like I was saying, there's only like a handful, or 2 or 3 handfuls of stories that humans think of, and so they base their new fiction around those same stories. And it's all of them, even in or the Expendables is just an expanded version of the Dirty Dozen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not the same story. It's not in the same setting, but it is the same format. And a lot of
even the Dirty Dozen was just basically an American remake of Seven Samurai, which is an old Japanese story.
Right, you go way back in time where people are doing oral stories and they get written down in different regions of Mesopotamia or whatever, and they evolve into their own different stories because people add a little bit, take a little bit away, etc., etc. So we're all down to verbal and visual storytelling. And there's only a handful of stories that are real in every generation, and you freak out over that. But it's like modern storytelling where it's like, okay, you're leading up to this person, and then woo, Shyamalan.
Well, I did watch a video recently, I think it was on YouTube, that was talking about why nostalgia is so important for Gen X, millennials, and that era of people.
Interesting, you guys are talking. Sorry, interesting, you guys are talking about storytelling, and this is Nerd Chat because the last episode of Doctor Who, which MB was asking about, emphasizes on storytelling.
Okay, I haven't seen anything since Flux. Flux was the last thing I watched.
Okay.
So I don't want to go into Doctor Who because there's so much. I'm so far behind on my TV viewing
Yes, you are.
Despite the
Plus,
fact,
you're way behind.
so I mean, I watched episode 1 of Daredevil, and I'm like, then I got stuck on The Good Doctor because my kids. And the only reason I'm watching The Good Doctor is because that way I can talk about it with my kids.
Dude, I love the new suit for season 2. Oh my gosh, I love it.
I don't think he has the suit in episode 1, right?
No. Well, episode 1 he does, but episode 2
What are you
no.
talking about now?
Oh, the
Daredevil
new Daredevil,
Reborn.
Born Again.
Born Again,
Daredevil Reborn. Okay.
Born Again.
Born
Born
Again.
Again. Yeah, they showed a set photo of Matt Murdock in his new outfit. I'm like, this is 100% comic book accurate.
I don't have.
Holy
now
shit!
Hold on, I'm gonna go kind of meta right now, based on what you guys know, and I know everyone. Mr. CCDV, you're not a Catholic, are you?
No.
Okay. What do you think Daredevil's opinion on, because he's a devout Catholic, would be on the American Pope? Or sorry, the American Peruvian Pope.
You expect me to combine politics with my entertainment?
I'm not going into politics. I'm just, this is kind of meta because, it just happened. We're talking about Daredevil Born Again, which, the whole thing is him, rediscovering, or at least in the comic book, was him rediscovering and reaffirming his Catholic faith.
Wow.
And now, of course, we have
an American Pope, huh?
Yeah. Well, an American Peruvian Pope.
Fascinating.
I know what he'd say. He's like, I'm glad the Pope's American, but he's really a Red Sox fan. That's what Matt Murdock would say.
Well, I'm sorry, canonically speaking, what team does Matt Murdock support? Because, he is a New Yorker, but I know Peter Parker supports the Mets, because that's the team that Uncle Ben took him to go see.
Yeah.
So who does Daredevil support?
I don't think he's into baseball.
Is he a Yankees fan? Well, why would he care about the Red Sox?
Well,
because it's Boston and he's a New Yorker.
Games on the radio.
Because he's a New Yorker and it's Boston, the rivals, and he's like, oh, that's the Pope. Yeah, he's making a joke. That's Matt Murdock. That's how he would perform.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he would present himself. It's like, yeah, he's really a Red Sox fan. That's how Matt Murdock would present himself, as a joking thing, but he's really sincere. He's American and happy, but little jokey way. That's Matt Murdock's character.
That might be a fun stream to actually talk about, like what baseball and football teams or basketball teams or, sports teams in general would each superhero be a fan of.
I know Cyborg would be a fan of the Gotham Giants.
No, he would be a fan of the Gotham Giants. He would have been on the Gotham Giants.
I know, that's why. Yeah.
Because, as I said, the only one I know for sure is that Peter Parker is a fan of the Mets.
Oh,
but I don't know. I don't know any other baseball. I'm sorry, I don't know any other superhero who supports what team.
Captain America would be a Dodgers fan. Unfortunately, he's.
Oh, that's right. He was at the game.
Switch from Boston.
Yeah.
Or from the Bronx. He didn't get out of the Bronx fast enough.
He would be a Dodger fan instead of a Giants fan.
Like, I can imagine Captain America, the argument being whether or not he's a Patriots fan or not.
That's a good question.
Because would he support a team that has literally been caught cheating as many times as they have?
No, he's from Louisiana. No. He's a Saints fan. No, he's from Louisiana, okay? Captain America is from Louisiana. He's a Saints fan, guys.
Sorry, I'm talking about Steve Rogers, Captain America. I'm not talking about Captain Falcon, Captain America.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, not Captain Falcon, Captain America. He would be a Dodgers fan.
Sorry, specifically Steve Rogers.
Right.
Okay, Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Right.
Now, hold on. I haven't watched Thunderbolts yet. I do want to see it. But I could definitely see U.S. Agent being a Patriots fan.
He did play football. I actually watched Thunderbolts last night, and I finally got a joke that was said. I'm not. It's not spoiling the movie. I'll just tell you this.
Oh my God! I really am
Dave
surrounded
Fontaine.
by nerds.
Yeah, De La Fontaine. She insulted the new Captain America. Right? She called him Junior Varsity Captain America. I'm like, I finally get it. You never call a pro football player Junior Varsity. That was the insult. I finally got that insult. Because
All right, you know
he
what?
did. Walker did play football in high school. He was
All right,
all time.
Here's my idea. Let's continue this next week, and what I'll do is for the next for the next week on my shorts, I'll do a comic book related thing, and we'll see. I'll ask the question, see if we get any comments. What professional sports teams in the real world would that superhero support? And we'll continue this conversation next week.
Because apparently we're talking baseball and football at the same time.
Well, baseball,
Dodgers.
because let's face it, like if we're talking about superheroes, even though they don't exist anymore, I guarantee you, Sonic the Hedgehog would be a Seattle basketball fan.
Do you want to pick one sport at a time?
I don't think it'll matter that much, but I think it'd be fun to talk about next stream.
All right.
And see if I get any comments. So if you do see those shorts, make a comment on them, and we'll make it a big running joke this week. Because I will tell you, the short I was going to post today was going to be a Batman post. So I could, I know in Universe, there's a Gotham team. I can't remember the name of the team.
Gotham Giants football team? No,
in Gotham.
Gotham Knights.
Is it the Gotham Knights?
Yes.
I know that was in the Bane or the Batman Dark Knight trilogy movies, but was it? I'm gonna check DC Wikipedia real quick later after the stream.
Yeah, but whatever. That's cool.
Let's see. The Gotham football team. Oh, sorry. In DC, not real life. The Gotham Rogues.
Rogues?
Yeah, and the Gotham Knights.
Football team?
Gotham Knights and Gotham Rogues.
Ah, okay. So they have two football teams.
Oh, here's Gotham Goliaths. And Gotham Nighthawks. Gotham Nighthawks is a football team from Gotham City University.
Oh, Nighthawks is a football team? My bad.
The Gotham City Knights or Gotham Knights is the official football team of Gotham City and the major football team in the state of New Jersey. That's
okay.
Why that came up with New Jersey. Okay, I'm like, oh, not real life. I'm like, okay, that's why that came up.
Well, I think this would be a fun thing to talk about next stream.
That would be fun if we don't get off track, which we will.
We always get off track, man.
Let's see. Do I have any left? Hold on. I only have one more short, but I wanted to wait until at least an hour and 20 in before I played it.
Yeah, it's been an hour and 14.
I was trying to play one every 20 minutes, but I did make 7 for the last week, but I only had 5 of them saved on my phone.
So you only had five of 7 instead of 7 of 9? Damn, poor Jerry.
Yes. Even though she was in the last short.
Yeah, I know. Poor Jerry. See, I pay attention.
Well, at least she's captain of the Enterprise now. So,
but she doesn't have her catchphrase yet.
Oh, God.
They pulled the Steve Rogers right before she said it.
I want to go. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Thanks for the warning.
How dare you?
I know.
No, I'm just trying to bring up my eBay store. I'm going to see what other comic book things I could do this week? Let's see.
Oh, I need more coffee.
Mario and Luigi, no.
You can do Mario and Luigi. At least do something from the movie. The actual movie. Bob Costas, Leguizamo.
Well, I know, but I'm scrolling down to see what other things are comic book related. Well, technically, I would say this is comic book related. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Okay, there's a clip you can play for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Dude, I got a clip I can send you from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. There's this fight scene where they're going to Black Ranger's about something. The other one's the girl. Which one are you? I'm Scottish.
I know which one you're talking about. That was
okay.
Was it RPM?
I forgot. I thought that was just funny as shit. I'm like, I love that.
It was either RPM or Overdrive. I can't remember which one.
I think it might have been Overdrive.
See, that's Mech Warrior. That's golf. That's racing. That's football. That's racing. It's boxing. Already did that one.
Well,
That's
we know
more golf.
Tony Stark is a fan of Formula One, so
yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, I could do that one. That'd be Gravity Falls, Bendy, Star Wars, Fortnite. I already did that one. Already did that one. That's Star Wars. That's horror, basketball, Final Fantasy, movie. Well, okay. This one I could do. It'd be funny. Friday Night Lights on Blu-ray. I could just say, what superhero,
Cyborg.
Well, no. I'm just talking about we could do like, what superheroes would like what sports team, football teams?
Yeah.
Roxanne already did. No. That's not no more Star Wars. Already did that one.
2 hours
No.
in the Giants game.
I think I already did. No, I didn't. I did it. Not a video. I could do a video for that. I think I got Supergirl on DVD or on VHS.
Classic.
Siege.
Except I hated that part. I was like, why are you shaking the floor? You just levitate. Come on.
I haven't seen that movie in a long time.
Yeah, the ending. She's all shaking on the floor. I'm like, levitate, woman.
If it doesn't sell, Elias, you'll like this one. Maybe I'll do a collab with you on this one. I have a Buzz Aldrin teddy bear signature classic series. So we on the anniversary of the moon landing, we could do a video together on that one.
Oh my gosh, July. Yeah, we could.
If it doesn't sell by July.
Okay.
Another
remember
Batman,
he said that's one small step for a man.
McDonald's toys.
You got the McDonald's glasses?
No, not glasses. This is the Adopt Me pets.
Oh.
I have something for Miraculous Ladybug. I know that's a superhero for kids, but I don't know anything about it. My kids might know more about it.
Never heard of it.
Oh, perfect. Marvel's Avengers, Black Panther and Wakanda Forever bandanas.
Oh, nice.
Eternal Warrior comic, but I don't think enough people know who Eternal Warrior is. Oh, the Falcon and Captain America Brave New World toy. I got that. Transformers. That's good. I would consider Transformers superheroes, wouldn't you?
Not really.
No, not really.
Hey, Spider-Man fought with Optimus Prime, so I say that's superheroes.
Let me clarify something for you. Superheroes fight multiple enemies. The only ones the Autobots fought were Decepticons. They're not superheroes.
Hold on. Hold on. The Transformers also fought Mech. They fought Unicron. They fought Cobra.
Yeah, Non-earthly terrestrial entities. They are protectors of Earth, not superheroes.
Mech is an offshoot of the
They don't
CIA.
go around
Hold on.
They don't go around
Hold on.
saving people or rescuing cats from trees.
Hold on. In the show, Mech was a CIA.
A fire truck.
No, Mech, the organization MECH.
Oh.
Was an offshoot of the CIA, and Cobra is obviously a terrorist group from GI Joe, and they fought against them too. So, you're wrong.
Yeah, but they don't rescue people from cats from trees. They don't stop bank robbers. They're not superheroes. They're protectors of Earth. That's all they are.
All right, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Heroes.
Okay, I just found something perfect. The Batman v Superman Dawn of Steel, Dawn of Justice Man of Steel movie on Blu-ray. That would be perfect.
That would be.
No.
That's
already did, you guys.
And don't forget, Clark Kent will be a fan of the Kansas City Chiefs because he did play high school football.
The DC cartoon movies are far better than any of the DC live action movies. Far better. Even when it's a really bad story, it's a really good watch.
I liked the death of Superman. That was great.
That was. The
Reign of Superman. The Reign of Superman was stupid.
You thought the Reign of Superman was stupid?
Yeah, the way they introduced the different Superman, I'm like, oh come on, please. This comic was better.
Okay, fair enough. I didn't read the comics. I haven't read comics at all.
I mean, they're hinting at when they showed the very first Superman felt fake. They hint at it. Ooh, it could be Superman. I was like, no, you know that's not really Superman. I'm like, come on, the comics were better. He was in shadow.
Well, to be honest with you, I liked what was it? John Henry, right? John Henry Superman.
Yeah,
John Henry
Steel. Steel.
John Henry Steel. Yeah.
No, his name was John. Hold on. His name was John Henry Irons. His superhero alternate identity was Steel.
Steel. Okay. John Henry Irons. That's Steel.
Yes.
I really liked that character a lot.
And I hear birds.
I'm at the park. I said that earlier.
I know.
Sorry, that was a whole other stream ago. So yeah.
You don't think I hear?
I've got over 500 fucking listings. I'm just keep scrolling down to see if anything it would be superhero related.
The only birds I hear around here are seagulls. I'm like, jeez.
Well, I'm not in East County because remember, in East County we have that parrot problem.
Yeah, Telegraph Hill, we have a parrot problem.
Are people getting annoyed with their parents or with their parrots and just letting them out the window now?
No, these are wild parrots. Wild parrots.
These are wild parrots. Hold on. Basically, there's two ideas around the ones in East County and San Diego, that they're either released pets that have become feral, or they escaped from the zoo, or they just, because of climate change, they're migrating northward.
Oh, okay. Well, but my former roommate had a parrot, a African gray. That dude was an asshole. Instead of letting him out into the wild, he found another home for him. But being that parrots are such assholes, I'm sure that the new owners probably just let him out on the back porch and said, "Get out of here, stupid damn parrot."
Okay, would this count as a comic book? I mean, it's definitely a comic book, but I don't think it's superhero related. I got an Archie comic.
I wonder what Archie and his friends would think about all the superhero
I think the Archie and Sabrina crossovers would be worth more.
It's not. It's just a random one that was given to me.
Oh, Archie and Sabrina? As in the Teenage Witch Sabrina?
No. It's just a random one. It's a reissue.
Oh. Damn, image creator is taking forever. Jeez.
Another Batman thing. Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Another Archie comic. Oh, I do have Fallout. I got Fallout 4 because you were talking about that earlier, Lehu.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, play a little clip of the congressman showing the hidden tunnel underneath Congress. Sorry, a sitting member of Congress revealing where the hidden tunnel is. One of them. I thought that was funny when I watched. I'm like, "Are you serious?" It's like an X-Men where they move the seal and there's a whole underground little chamber underneath the Oval Office. I'm like, "Are you serious?" That's what it reminded me of.
So what kind of comparisons are we trying to make for next week?
Parallel comparisons to little advertisements and movies or TV show clips.
I get it. Okay. What are we doing now?
I have no idea. I'm loading a bowl.
Just killing time
Yeah,
while I scroll.
I did that. I lit a bowl. Yep. So
Sorry, I'm
start a
sticking to my. I'm
story.
sticking to my. I'm sticking to my nicotine, not cannabis.
Cannabis,
Oh
nicotine,
no, I'm doing
alcohol.
nicotine as well.
Yeah, cannabis, nicotine, alcohol. I got the cannabis and nicotine. You got the
Okay.
alcohol.
It's like
I was
90.
not planning on doing cannabis until later on tonight, but
So much of my stuff is, Batman or Superman when it comes to comic book related stuff. So it's like I don't want to do more than one Batman or Superman thing in 7 days.
Oh, have you seen the trailer for Peacemaker season 2?
No, I haven't.
No, I haven't.
Oh my gosh, there's a clip in there. It's like DC EU versus DCU. Seen Peacemaker versus Peacemaker. I'm like, holy shit.
Oh, that would be kind of cool, actually. But,
I think it's actually Clayface because James Gunn was talking about bringing Clayface to the movies. So
I don't have a Disney Plus subscription anymore. So
All right, what about Conan the Barbarian? Would that count as comic book related enough?
yes, Conan is a classic comic.
All right, so I can do. So we got Batman, Superman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, maybe Transformers, and Conan so far. I need 7.
For what?
Oh,
For
maybe
what?
Power Rangers too. If I'm going to do this idea for the next 7 days about comparing what superheroes would like what sports teams.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find 7. So if I include Transformers, so we got Batman, Superman, maybe Transformers, Conan, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I need at least one more. And I'm just scrolling through what I have because I think all my Spider-Man stuff's sold already.
Shazam!
I don't have any Shazam stuff. I'm trying to. That's the whole point. Is these things are advertising for the store.
Do you have any Invincible stuff?
No.
Oh, Invincible, yeah.
Phineas and Ferb?
Nope.
No, Phineas and Ferb wouldn't count. No.
Yeah, it would.
I love
Come on.
Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, it would.
They could make anything. The thing is, they could make anything to win the game. That would be cheating.
Still.
Aren't you a little young?
I'm just throwing out
You're
ideas
winning the
here.
Super Bowl? Yes, I am. I love Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah, Dan's funny. I watch Dan's shorts all the time on YouTube. He's a funny guy.
How about the Dracula and Frankenstein monster, those kind of things? Like they would have opinions on sports teams, wouldn't they?
Yeah, but the horror movies stuff I have is not related to that. It's all Romero.
You have any Punisher?
Oh, so you have to have zombies going for a sports team.
The only Punisher thing I had recently already sold. It was the Punisher with Dolph Lundgren on VHS, and it's already sold.
Oh. Okay, any Walking Dead?
Oh wait, I got Incredibles. Incredibles are superheroes.
Yes, they are.
Incredibles are superheroes.
And
yeah.
Jack ran track. I'm not Jack. What's his name?
No, not Jack.
Dash.
Yeah, the boy.
Jack ran track. So yeah, it's sports.
No, Dash ran track. Jack was the baby.
Sorry, thank you. Dash ran track as a sport.
All right, so that would be the 7. I could do that. Another Fallout game. More Star Wars. No.
We wouldn't understand the sports in Star Wars. Like pod racing.
Lego.
Yeah, I get
Xbox.
Yeah, pod racing, NASCAR.
Disney. All right, I think that'll be the 7 because I can't find anything else unless I scrolled past it.
And you can also start off with the famous clip 7 days from the well.
Say that again because I didn't catch what the fuck you said.
From the well, the whisper 7 days from the well.
Oh, the well.
Nah.
Yeah, the whisper.
Movie.
7 days. I know, but still, you're doing 7 days. Start with a little whisper.
Well, if you
all right,
really
so
want
I'm
to go that deep
just
into
for
it,
shits
you
and
can go
giggles.
with the
There we go.
Thing where the guy writes.
Well, I meant to.
Two things.
And I'll what?
Two things. Change the music to the change the music.
I had to use royalty free.
Okay. Second thing. There was a toy advertised for 18 plus. Are you going to circumvent that in case someone wants to buy it for their kid?
Well, no, the videos are listed not for kids.
No. One of the toys said 18 plus on there.
It was 18 features.
It said,
not 18 plus age for age.
It kind of reminded me of poor Betty White when she turned 100.
I'll let you guys know a little secret. Whoever buys it is actually going to get a bonus toy.
Ooh.
I picked up an extra Sabine Wren with a little speeder bike, so I'm going to include that too. So you're going to get you're pretty much going to get the entire crew of the Ghost.
What an awesome secret to tell on an open live stream. Nice.
Yes, where I have one person watching, and it's probably Mrs. Vile.
Sorry, let me rephrase that. An open secret and a rewatch on YouTube. Wow.
Okay, do you know how many rewatches I got on last week's live stream?
Single or double numbers?
Single. I had 7 rewatches, and everyone who rewatched it stopped after the first hour.
Oy vey.
Oh, and I got to take that down. Sorry.
Oh my gosh! Breaking news: SUV hits turbus of 62 people, 32 injured. Wow.
So, but those are the 5 that I had saved on the phone. I don't know what happened to the other ones, but yeah, I think I'll just do that from now on. Play those just to add topics to talk about because I think it'd be funny. Let's see what else. What else should we talk about?
You should watch Thunderbolts.
I want to, but I gotta wait because there's just so much I gotta watch right now, or I want to watch. So what I'm probably gonna do is while I'm working, because after the stream I gotta go to work. I'll be working 8 hours, so hopefully I'll be able to finish The Good Doctor because I'm on the last season right now. After that, I might start going into Daredevil instead of Once Upon a Time. And after Daredevil, maybe I'll catch up on Andor.
Well, if you do watch Thunderbolts, do not watch the end credit scene because normally MCU movies set the next movie. They spoil the ending of the next movie.
Well, I'm going to watch it anyway because that's who I am, dude. I like the end credit scenes.
I know.
So
I'm talking about those three credit scenes. The first one is funny as shit. I love Harbo. But the end credit scene, I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you for spoiling it. The Harbo end credit scene is funny as shit. I'm sorry, that's funny.
So, how about this, Mr. CCDV? What TV have you watched this week that is not something we've already talked about?
I caught up on Invincible.
All right, I haven't seen the new season. I take it back. I think I saw the first few episodes of the new season because I know they did it in 2 chunks. So, how was the second half? Because I don't think I've seen the second half.
I'm not sure I'm absolutely caught up on it right now. My memory is really bad since I went to the hospital. So,
Because I never read the Invincible comics. I did.
Oh no, it
listen
did go
to
all the way through to the end of the season, and it did go through all the way to the end of the season, and it's a cliffhanger. So if they don't come out with the next season, I'm going to be really sad.
Well, while I haven't read all the Invincible comics, I did watch basically synopses of them.
Yeah.
So I know what the comic books have to say, and I know what certain YouTubers' opinions on the comics are, because I'd listen, and once I know the synopsis, I was listening to what their idea, what they thought about it. So I'm curious about what direction they're going to take certain things because the show has changed the direction of certain aspects of the comic, which I also know pissed off some people.
But they're also
because they had
the comic.
Say that again.
I said they're also very close to the comic still.
Yes, but they've changed small things, like his first girlfriend. They changed her from white to black, and they had that relationship last longer, and they had that relationship end on a more positive note than it did in the comics.
Yeah, so what's wrong with that?
No, nothing. I'm just saying. That didn't matter to me at all, and most of the people that seem to be Invincible fans didn't seem to care either.
Why would I?
But I'm worried about the Adam Eve Mark relationship. I don't know how they're going to treat that because of what she ends up doing and the contentiousness around it right now, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do know what you're talking about.
So I don't know how they're going to handle that in the series. I don't know if they're going to handle
it. They may not handle it at all.
Yeah.
Which would be a smart choice.
It would be a smart choice per se, but it might also anger certain fans. I could see it doing that. The other thing I don't know how they're going to handle is the Mark Anissa relationship because of what she did.
I don't know that one.
Remember, he's the mother, or she's the mother of his first kid.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know how they're going to handle that.
I don't
because
either. You know what? Every time I watch Invincible, it really surprises me how good and how well adapted it is.
yeah,
So
all the adaptations I've seen, the changes they've made, I've enjoyed. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, but I also want to see how they handle it because it was so, especially the Anissa stuff was really contentious in the comic book industry because that type of stuff does not happen in comic books that often.
yeah, you've heard of the pendulum theory in fiction writing, right? Where it
I
goes
may have,
all
but
the way
remind
over
me.
to one side, the pendulum on a clock swings back and forth.
Yeah.
And so the pendulum in pop culture swings from extremely liberal to extremely conservative and anywhere in between. I think we're at the apex of extremely liberal and coming back down into more conservative storytelling at this point. So I honestly believe that the next few years are going to show some more restraint in the, how does a critical drinker put it?
Yeah, hopefully that won't affect Invincible that much because
modern
Invincible is a very
audiences.
yeah. Invincible is a very liberal show. I mean, well, the comic book is.
You mean socially?
Yeah.
Socially liberal. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Okay. That's a good way to describe it.
I mean, heck, Invincible's best friend is a gay guy.
Oh my God. Or, no, I don't mean that far, right? I was just meaning like, yeah, it's more liberal than
But the
something I would
commentary,
write. But
like I don't see and I'm trying to say it without spoilers, even though no one's really watching. The Anissa Mark, quote unquote, hold on. I hit the wrong button. Relationship is not something a conservative would approve of because it was.
Oh, you're going old school then.
Yeah, because they would be one, that stuff, that type of action should not be shown on TV, period. And two, because it was a male or female on male version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Women can do nothing wrong and men are always wrong. I know.
Yeah.
Lived that
So
life for a while.
the fact that
I
it
don't
was,
believe it anymore.
I don't see that. So it's good. God, the next few seasons of Invincible, so I really hope it doesn't get canceled, would be really interesting TV to watch, both meta and as a good show. Because everything I've seen on Invincible, I've enjoyed.
I have too, actually, and that surprised me. The first season, I was like, I can't wait to see the rest of the first season. And the second season came out, and I was like, oh my God, I have to wait for the second half of the second season?
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's why I don't think I've watched the second half of the second season or the current season.
Right. Yeah. Well, they don't have the current season coming out yet. I really hope they approve season 3. I really do.
And I know they've already introduced the relationship between Monster Girl and Robot. So to see how that relationship progresses, because remember, she also has a kid in the future of the storyline. And considering who that kid is with and how that kid was conceived is also something that is very politically charged for the modern day.
Undoubtedly.
And it's weird dancing around this because I have no people. I know no one's really watching this, so it's weird dancing around and trying not to give spoilers. Elihu, do you have any idea what we're talking about?
Zero clue. I have no idea. All I know is Invincible, some kind of cartoon I've never seen before.
Okay. Here's for you, Elihu. You need to watch Invincible.
I can't today because after the stream, I'm going to be watching the Giants game. Then I'm going to be watching the last episode of Endor again before the roundtable.
All right. I'm not saying you have to watch it today. I'm saying this week. Your homework for the next week is to watch Invincible.
Oh, man. I'm still catching up on Wheel of Time. I haven't finished it yet.
Dude, why are you watching Wheel of Time?
Because I like it.
Ooh, there you go. There's our philosophical difference.
I don't know anything about Wheel of Time, so I have no opinion one way or the other.
The books were great.
Yeah, basically, magic destroyed the world. It made everything go back to the Dark Ages. Thanks to magic.
I'll try to. I'll add it to the list of stuff I need to watch.
Yeah, 3,000 years ago, we were technologically advanced, and magic ruined everything. That's basically. I'm going to tell you about it. Okay.
Well, to me, that I'm in my head. I'm now thinking about Thundar the Barbarian.
Nope. No, not like Thundar.
But no, that's what pops into my head because technology regressing and then magic.
Yeah, but it's not like Thundar.
God, I think we need to do a reboot of fucking Thundar. Really, I want to see a live action Thundar the Barbarian because I think that'd be awesome.
I'm still waiting for a live action Brave Star.
I have that video. I just watched it. I hadn't seen it in so many years, and then I was able to get a copy of it.
Brave Star the movie?
Yeah, Brave Star the movie. I'm like, I cringed so much because it's got so many of those Native American 80s tropes that are so bad nowadays. When you're talking about stuff that can't get made today, you cannot get that particular thing made today because I know it was a Canadian production, but they basically take like every Native American mythology in the entirety of North America and condense it into a single person. And it's not even Brave Star. It's his basically adopted father. And the fact that the adopted father crashes his spaceship into a planet and it just happens to turn into a totem pole. I mean, oh my God, that's so bad.
Every Native American tribe culture used totem poles.
So
yeah, every single one of them, and they were all peaceful and sharecroppers and farmers. They never used warfare at all. Never, ever.
So if they were ever to do a live action reboot of Brave Star, Elihu, they'd have to change so much about it.
Yeah, kind of like doing Blazing Saddles. How much of Blazing Saddles can be shown on antenna television? About maybe 6.5 minutes of it.
Actually, I did watch.
I've seen
that when I was a kid. We only had antennas, and it was almost a full movie with a whole lot of. What's yours?
Up yours.
You know what?
Yeah,
okay. There was an interview of Mel Brooks that I saw a while back regarding the TBS edit of Blazing Saddles when they played it on TV. And what Mel Brooks complained about the most was not the bleeping out of the N-word. It was the fact that during the beans and farting scene,
the farts were muted. Yeah, they muted the farts. Yeah, I remember that. They muted the farts. Yeah.
I can't believe they muted the farts.
Yeah.
You just got a bunch of cowboys sitting around a fire lifting their left elbow up or something, you know?
Yeah, why are they sitting up and sitting down? What's going on? What the hell? Why are they sitting up and sitting down? What's going on?
That entire scene makes no sense without the farts, but apparently the farts were offensive.
But he comes in saying, waving his hat, saying, "Cut out the beans."
I do like History of the World Part 2. Have you guys seen History of the World Part 2?
Not yet.
I have, and I don't like it.
I love it. The explanation of Jesus was perfect.
It's just it's the same old. Well, same old, I say, because it's in the last 10 years, where everybody's a hilarious improviser. You know, everybody's a hilarious improviser, and it's just not funny. Not to me.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream a little bit early because I have to Geloja. So, which one, Mr. CCTV, I'll let you choose. Which one should we end with?
Which one? What?
Which
strange new worlds clip?
Yeah, when her hails the Klingons, which one should Captain Pike see?
Yeah, what's the song that we're gonna play? Do you know the list?
No.
Drinking. Just by drinking.
Okay, we have drinking song, Klingon style song, opera, war song, victory song, prison song, Dahar song, Doctor singing Sunshine, Doctor singing opera, Data singing Blue Skies, and Data singing Life Forms.
Data singing Blue Skies.
All right.
As a reminder, and
never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Oh, blue skies, smiling at me. Irving Berlin. Nothing but blue skies do I see.
Buy something at SD GameSwap, or I'm going to put all of you in a cargo container and transport you to the Borg.
I have a video we can make. Don't open it with your teeth. Damn it, child.
Sorry, we were talking about farts, so I had to play the one where she burps.
I was also going to try to squeeze in. Also, you can catch VileMike on Blue Sky before you play Blue Sky.
Well, all those should be in the description. I got the links to the Instagram, the Twitter, the Blue Sky, the Facebook, the actual store, TikTok, and of course it's on YouTube. So, YouTube.
No, of course.
So
Wait,
they're all in the description. So, all right, I'll see you guys next week. Okay.
All right. Have a great week.
Later, folks.